Hi everyone, and welcome to another community check-in. So today's check-in is with somebody who's on a SkinSize 3, and we're going to be speaking with Hannah Coates. Now Hannah Coates has just joined right now, so I'm going to wave, and if she's going to press the request to join, and then she's going to come in and join us. I'm so excited to chat with Hannah Coates because the last time she just pressed the view, so we're going to with her because we actually met a couple of years ago now on another shoot, and this time she was interviewing me, and so now it's quite good because I get to interview her.
Hi, how are you?
Hi Hannah. This is so wonderful that I feel like this is a real full circle moment in us having this conversation.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
So I was just going to introduce you, Hannah. So Hannah is the beauty and wellness editor at British Vogue, and we met on a shoot together where we bonded over our love of Swan Lake because we were wearing pretty much the identical outfit, except Hannah was in black and I was in white, and the two of us were there like these giant swans, just having the most wonderful time on an interview. And at that time, we talked about skincare because of your love for it and my love for it. And we thought, I had this idea, and it was actually a conversation as well about you and your sister that really made me go, right, let's make this happen. And 6 months later, actually, Klira was born. So it's so lovely to have you on here now.
I know. I like to think I had played a part in it.
You did. And you're also currently playing a part in the design choices I'm making in my house because I'm actively following everything that you're doing with your house, which looks so exciting.
I mean, it's slowly getting there, but it is a lot, isn't it? The renovation life is a lot, but yeah, it's I'm glad I'm inspiring someone. Yeah. I'm like obsessed with Pinterest right now. I don't ever stop.
How many boards do you have on Pinterest?
Well, I have like a board for every room, and then I have like a further other boards that I just put random stuff on. But yeah, I've got a lot of boards, and I basically kind of go on it to like relax nowadays. Like I don't go on Instagram. I'm like on the Pinterest.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to steal the idea of some of your boards, to be honest.
I'll send them over.
Tell me a little bit then about your Klira journey, because you joined Klira, how long ago was it now?
I think I celebrated my Klira-versary, like maybe it was like, I think it was this year, at the beginning of this year, but it might be end of last year. Like the time just flies. But I've been using it about a year, and honestly, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, but it has genuinely changed my skin. I obviously, as a beauty editor, try lots of different products, so I think I might have come to you being like, oh my God, my skin's freaking out again. And you were like, you need to simplify your routine, and then you need to introduce Klira. So I remember actually doing the quiz on like a very windy road in Italy. I was on a trip, and I was like, this is I remember it kind of, the internet went and I had to do it again, and because it was such a rigorous questionnaire, but I feel like you diagnosed my skin so well that I've seen lots of different derms in my time as well, and you guys just seem to diagnose my skin perfectly and not and understand it implicitly before I kind of even knew about it. So that was a really kind of reassuring first step. But since like my skin's very I guess it's quite sensitive. It's a bit reactive. It's rosacea prone. I mean, you can probably talk to it better than I can, but I found Klira just to be just a nightly thing that I don't have to think about. It basically just does what it's supposed to do. My skin glows. My skin feels even. If I've got spots, they quickly go away, whereas before they'd hang around for a long time. And I just feel like it doesn't irritate my skin, which is a bit of a game changer, because before I was trying different like products and like, I wasn't trying them to kind of excess, but it's still that my skin was still reactive. So this has really changed. I've got mine here. It's really changed the game in that I don't have to think about my active each night, and I just know I use that, and that's all I need to do, if that makes sense.
I mean, that's exactly it. It's just trying to keep it all as simple as possible. And somebody just asked there what skin size you are. So Hannah is a skin size 3, and that really tells me that she's somebody who's on the slightly oilier side, and but also has a very sensitive skin barrier. So I know that in the past you might have been tempted to use some things to treat the oiliness of the skin, which can sometimes strip it out a little bit. And
Yeah.
actually, all that ends up doing is giving you the rosacea or flaring up the rosacea more. So this oily, sensitive skin actually can be a little bit of a challenge for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think in the past as well, you had, because somebody said, oh, try, a retinoid, and you tried retinoids in the past. Is that right? Isn't that right?
Well, had a prescription retinoid, and that completely ruined my skin. And I was really determined. I was like, I'm gonna break through this like flaky bit. It's gonna come through. You read and you hear things, that you should just keep going, and just sandwich it up with a moisturizer and all of this kind of thing. But actually, that never worked for me, and I think I got perioral dermatitis, and it was really painful, itchy, and also just like, I'm not in the market to make my skin look worse or feel worse. I actually want it to feel good,
Yeah.
and I don't want to. I'm also someone, I just don't want to punish myself in that way. Like, what's the point? Like, we're here to live. I don't want to have like skin flaking off my face. Like, occasionally with a facial, yes, fine, but like day to day, I just want something that is gonna make my skin feel and look good, and like it's being looked after properly.
Yeah, because then I remember I said, oh, well, I want to put you on a prescription retinoid. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
but I've done this and it didn't
I was
work. I
like,
said, you haven't tried Klira.
yeah, I actually was like, no. And I think, well, I've got 0.01% retinoid in tretinoin in my Klira. And I remember you being like, well, that's actually really good for just to kind of get your skin used to tretinoin. And I mean, you can probably speak better at me than this, but um I'm guessing that's also having an effect on my skin every day anyway, even if it's not a high percentage, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
and for you, it doesn't really need to be a high percentage. For you, it's quite good just to stay at that low
Mm,
percentage, just to help out a little bit with how the skin cells are turning over so you can get the glow.
yeah.
But also, really, more for you, it was as well about adding the other things in that we know are going to be helpful to
Mm,
keep the skin nice and calm and stop it from becoming inflamed.
yeah.
What's the rest of your routine like?
Oh, can
Hello?
you hear me? Sorry,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
probably got
Well,
dodgy internet connection.
it's
Sorry
okay.
about that. But the rest of my routine is very, very simple. I mean, occasionally I'm trying different bits and bobs here and there, but as a general rule, I use a CeraVe hydrating cleanser or a La Roche-Posay like Toleriane cleanser. So very gentle, nothing that's going to strip my skin barrier. Just, yeah, really, really gentle and inoffensive. And I have used a few other cleansers here and there that I love, but they're slightly on the more expensive end. But and then I use the Klira, and then this is in the evening, I use a moisturizer, again, really simple. Usually something ceramide rich. Again, La Roche-Posay is a great one. I also use the CeraVe one. Um, oh God, I'm really boring, but I those are kind of like
Well, well,
those are my staples.
I mean, that's the thing is, once I think that you find the thing that just works for your skin, and
Mm,
once you've got your routine in place, it's almost like I don't want to deviate from it, because I can't really afford to have days, especially as a beauty editor, where you're exposed all of the time. I
mm,
can't really afford to have days where my skin's just not going to look good.
no.
So I need to have it exactly how I know it's going to work.
Yeah, and I'm also like, I love a like really sexy skincare product on my, like, my bathroom shelf, but when I know something works, when you've got problem skin, or when your skin doesn't always play ball, you just want to play it as safely as possible. And I already know that the active part of things is being taken care of by Klira, so that's done. So for me, it's all just the rest of it is almost just like a supporting act for that to work properly. And also it's cheap, so like, you know, I'm really lucky to try lots of different products. What I say to so many people, and I have got so many people onto Klira, like my sister, all sorts of people, and I always say, if you just pay for that, that's all you really need. You can go very cheap on the rest of your skincare. It doesn't have to be like a really expensive routine, and you'll probably actually save money in the long run because you're not spending money on like loads of random kind of retinoids and vitamin C's and whatever. You can have it all in this one product.
I know, because that's one of the things that I tend to do whenever people are booking in to see me. You know, it's almost like you actually don't need to see me if it's if you're falling into this kind of category of coming to see me because you've got maybe a bit of sensitive skin or a bit of acne or just that or better aging that you want to do.
Yeah.
Actually, just save your money. You don't need to spend my consultation
Yeah.
fee. I was like, I'm completely doing
I wouldn't
myself
say
out of a job.
that. She got to back herself.
Yeah, you don't need to see me. Just come to Klira because that's exactly what it does. And you've been so kind as well because you also had a lot of you had a code I think for your followers that you were given. So we also got a lot of people from that way as well. So that's super
Oh,
kind.
that's good to know. Good to know I've got some influence somewhere.
And tell me then, what does your skin now feel like compared to what it felt like in the past? Do you feel like you can just rely on it a bit more?
Oh my God, 100%. I mean, like we've talked about, skin is like very much a part of I want to look good, and
And you
we all
do
do.
really good.
Thank you. That wasn't a compliment fish, or was
Well, I
it?
gave it quite freely because it's very true.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, you want to go to work every day and you want to do better. I don't want to have to spend ages doing my skin or ages doing anything, quite frankly. So if my skin already looks good and I can just put some SPF on and a kind of like, you know, it's got to the point now where I can actually use concealer and just dab it round and be very, very quick with my skin, which is just like is actually a game changer because I used to suffer quite badly with acne around my chin. Also, like I've got quite a lot of scarring on my face, but actually it's really softened, really settled down. And yeah, my skin now feels like kind of, how do I say, like hydrated, like supple and soft, whereas before it might have felt quite dry and tight. And just like mentally, just not knowing what you're going to wake up with in the morning is not always the best. You don't want that. You kind of want to wake up and be like, I don't have to worry about my skin today. So yeah, that's the difference. Post Clearer, pre and post.
I mean that I just love hearing this. I could listen to you talk about it all day.
Yeah, good PR.
You've had quite a lot of people coming up on the comments here saying beautiful skin Hannah, wonderful skin Hannah. So it's clearly doing something exactly
Oh,
right. Although I do
thank
think it's
you.
quite to do with your genetics as well.
Well, I don't know. I know. I honestly, I'm not someone with naturally great skin. I promise that. I am lucky to go and have facials and things as well, but this, you know, it's your home care that really sets the standard for everything else. So I truly believe that this, you know, and like I said, I've tried lots of different things, and I truly believe this has completely changed my skin in such a good way. And also, you know, you're supposed to, as I know, you know, but with any product, you're supposed to use it regularly for at least 3 months to see results, right? And I've never had any product that I've really used that consistently for that long, because things have to feel good and make your skin feel good for you to continue using them. Otherwise, you're just like, oh, I have to use that tonight. Like, so yeah, I think it's a bit of a game changer.
I think that's exactly what we wanted to try and get. So it was something that felt nice whenever you put it on. It was something
Mhm.
that had to feel nice the next day.
Mm.
It also had to look nice when it sat on your bathroom
Yeah,
shelf because that plays such a massive role. I mean, I'm a bit like you. I love the ritual of having the nice ornament of the nice product
yeah,
on my shelf. Like I love that so much. And the thing I don't ever play around with my cleansers really, and I don't play around with my moisturizers much, but I will play around with SPFs, trying to fiddle around and find the
yeah.
best one. But I just love knowing that I've got the security of of my nighttime special, and it's just there
Mm.
and it's
Yeah.
done so that I can still enjoy all of these other products that I have to do as part of my job and
Yeah.
you have to do as part of your job.
Yeah, 100%. It's nice to know it's always there to, yeah, kind of look after you. You kind of sometimes want to decant the other cleansers into more luxurious bottles, but they work and they're good, and that's all that matters.
I mean, I think that's exactly what should happen. Well, I can't thank you enough for joining in, and I can't thank everyone else for joining us as well. So that was a skin size 3. And Hannah, do you still have your code for your followers? Do you remember what it
I
was?
think it was either Hannah 50 or Coates 50, but I
Okay.
can't remember which one.
I'll find out and I'll link it in the
Oh,
bio below so that you can be even
fabulous.
more
I'll be sharing
influential.
that. Yeah. Oh, that's all I needed to hear tonight. I needed a bit of an ego boost. Oh,
Thank
that
you
was
so
so
much, Hannah.
fun.
Thoroughly
Thank
appreciate it. Thank you for joining,
you so
everyone.
much.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.